Hello world. How you beautiful people doing? Another beautiful day. It's me. I sound so selfish. I'm just joking. How y'all people doing? What's up? What's up? Look, hmm, when it comes to today's video games, it's not about this. It's not about the size of the map anymore. That don't mean anything. The size of the map don't mean anything if you ain't got a big hard drive to save that game. You know, I've seen people complaining about Call of Duty was getting too big, and the hard drive size was too big, and the hard drive size take up. You can't fit Modern Warfare on a 500 gig hard drive. Too bad. You just got to get a bigger hard drive. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Amazon right now and get a 14 terabyte hard drive for almost $300. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to today's games, man, it ain't about the file. It ain't about the size of the map anymore. It ain't about the file size. It ain't about the file size. The question is, do you got a big hard drive to hold that game? So and developers don't like to be held back. Don't like to be held back. This was one of the things Nintendo tried to do. They try to hold developers back with the shenanigans they be doing when it comes to their games. And I could go real deep in on Nintendo if I want to. You best believe it. So because I understand this game industry pretty good. But anyway, when it comes to today's video games, though, it ain't about the file size. It ain't about how much space. It ain't about how big the map is. You just gotta have a big hard drive to save these games. And if you got an Xbox One and PS4, if you ain't got a 14 to 16 terabyte hard drive sitting on them consoles, then if you ain't got it, then you joking, dude. Cause that's how big those games are. Those games are big. So to relieve the stress and the headaches about map sizes, file sizes, you just got to get a big hard drive and be done with it. You can't cheat video games physically. Anyway, so I'm sitting here listening to some instrumentals here. Listening to some instrumentals. But anyway, talking about video games though. Elder Scrolls is big. Elder Scrolls Online is big. I mean the single player part of Elder Scrolls is huge. From Oblivion, from Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, and now Elder Scrolls 6. Those games are big in their own right. But Elder Scrolls Online, that game is huge. So if you sitting there worried about the file size and the map size, then you're stuck. You're stuck in the Stone Age, man. You need to get your mind out the gutter. It ain't about that anymore. It's about getting a big hard drive to hold those games. But anyway, Elder Scrolls Online is pretty big, man. Pretty big, and it's getting bigger. It ain't gonna stop anytime soon. Elder Scrolls is a live service game where you got to keep the ball moving. Something EA should have been doing with Anthem. But anyway, Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft, the Avengers, games like that, DC Universe, live service. So you got to keep the ball moving, because there's always something to update on those games. Always something. So when it comes to games like that, you can't worry about file size and map size. You just got to get a big hard drive and stop being cheap. Anyway, says here, how big is today's article? How big is the Elder Scrolls Online map compared to other franchises? Size don't mean nothing, man. You better have a big hard drive to save you better have a big hard drive to save these games. Like they say, size don't mean nothing. I'm from the old school. Anyway, look, it says here, Elder Scrolls Online is the first entry to attempt to bring the entirety of Tamriel to life since Arena. But how does its size compare? Size don't mean nothing, man. You just gotta get a bigger hard drive. So anyway, it says Elder Scrolls Online was the first game in the series to attempt to bring part of all of Tamriel province to life since the very first game, the Elder Scrolls Arena. However, the in-game areas created for each installment in the series only represents a fraction of those areas' size in the lore, leading to drastically different scale between the game and franchise. As a result, some of the biggest areas ever rendered for the series have represented some of the smallest areas of Tamriel, while entire province have been summoned up over deceptively small in-game maps. Here how the size of the entire world of Elder Scrolls Online stands up to previous Elder Scrolls game. Then it says here, shows a map of Elder Scrolls on Elder Scrolls. It says, well, Elder Scrolls Online includes an area from all 9 of Tamriel's province. It does not create a large unbroken game world like Skyrim largely does. The Elder Scrolls Online also does not claim to represent the entirety of Tamriel, instead allowing players to access to smaller areas of each province divided by load time screens. Indeed, while Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim use tall mountains and unnecessarily winding roads to help create an illusion of greater scale, all of the areas represented in the game across the franchise are best understood as scaled down metaphors of the area from the lore. The scaling down quite line up either. If the map of Tamriel is to scale, then the Imperial City at the heart of Cyrodiil would be around the size of a small country. Tamriel has no canonically established size, however, leaving its real scale to the imagination of players. Look, when it comes to games like this is a pretty long article, but look, when it comes to games like this, you really can't worry about file size and map size anymore. If you're that type of gamer where you sit there and you worry about the file size of a game and how big the map is, you need to grow up. See, I've been gaming for years, and I already knew gaming was gonna grow. Every console generation, the games, they grow, and within those years of the console, depending on how many games they bring out for a series, games are gonna grow. So when it comes to Elder Scrolls Online, you really can't worry about the size of the map. You really can't worry about the file size. The question is, are you having fun with the game? And do you enjoy the adventure that you're going through with the game? That's what it comes down to. Your file sizes and map size don't mean nothing no more. You gotta have a hard drive. Let's say this was your one second. Let's say this was your hard drive. That's what you got to worry about when it comes to today's games. You can't worry about file sizes anymore. You're wasting your time. Oh, the map is too big. Well, the map is too big. The game can't fit on a 500 gig hard drive. All that is a waste. The question is, do you have one of these? 8 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 12 terabytes, 14, 16. So when the game come out, you can install it and you won't have no problems. You won't be sitting there stressing on file sizes. File sizes and map sizes don't mean nothing anymore in video games. Today's games are big, open world, and they're huge. So you got to have one of these. I'm using this as an example. You got to have one of these, like a 8 for the Xbox Series X right now, and PS5. 10 terabytes is the standard right now. You know what I'm saying? Back on the Xbox One, PS4, it was 8 terabytes. But for starters, when it comes to hard drives on the Xbox Series X, PS5, 10 terabytes is the standard. So do you have one of these? So when the games come out, you won't be sitting there stressing like, do I have enough space to save this game? You know what I'm saying? You got to go 10 and above now. So file sizes and map sizes don't mean nothing. Games have to grow. And this is why I got mad at I got mad at Nintendo because Nintendo has a tendency to try to like to scale back on games and hold the game back from its true potential. Take you know what? I'm gonna make that for another video. I'm gonna talk about Zelda in another video, and I'm gonna tell you why Zelda is overrated, and why it's watered down. But anyway, when it comes to Elder Scrolls Online, you really can't worry about file size. You can't worry about the size of the map. The question is, do you have one of these? Unless do you have a hard drive big enough to get the expansion pack for it? You know what I'm saying? And after that, once you got it, just start playing. But if you're sitting there stressing off file sizes and map sizes, then you're wasting your time, man. You're like a crybaby, crying over every little petty little thing. You know, 500 gig hard drives are a joke. 1 terabyte hard drives are a joke. 2 terabyte hard drives are a joke. 3 terabyte hard drives are a joke. 4 terabyte hard drives are a joke. You got to go 8 and above, man, for the Xbox Series X and PS5. You got to. If you don't, then you're selling yourself short. There's no loopholes and shortcuts in video games, man. They just ain't. So if you're sitting there complaining about the file size and the map is too big, then that game ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? That game ain't for you. Go play something else. You know, so worried about file size? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Can't worry about that no more. Today's games are big open world and they're huge. You know, so I saw Spider-Man Miles Morales running on a PlayStation 5. I said, I was like, wow. The cities are so open, and man, the amount of work to get the city like that on a game, and then and Spider-Man ain't gonna stop because you got to keep updating that game. You know, so file sizes right now, it doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, map size, it doesn't mean anything anymore. We've been past that. We've been past those stages back like on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. But when it comes to the Xbox Series X, PS5, the question is, do you have one of these big hard drives to save the game on? We're talking 10 terabytes and above. Okay? And the reason I say 10 terabytes because usually 3 terabytes is just for the OS alone with updates. The rest is for games. Just telling you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, files. That's how it is with these consoles. When you get a you know what? I explained that in another video too. Anyway, nice talking to you people. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan for Dark Side. I'm gone. Peace.